Hello! I have something that I haven't done in a while, it feels like. A Fairyloot box to open. So I just came from a football game and I'm super tired, but I cannot wait to open this box. So we're going to dive into it in just a moment. I have another package to open real quick before we get to that. This is from the King's English, which is my favorite bookstore in Salt Lake, and they do ship, at least in the United States. I'm not sure about internationally, but if you want to support a great local indie bookstore, look for the King's English online. Anyway, I recently attended an online event with RJ Palazzo, how do you say her last name, that wrote Wonder anyway. And we have her new book, which is Pony. This is a signed copy, which is really fun. There's her signature there. And so they had this event that was, as I said, online, and several different bookstores around the United States were sponsoring it. So then you had to like get a ticket on Eventbrite, but the King's English website didn't make that very clear. So at the last minute, I'm emailing them going, what's going on? And they sent me the link to join anyway. But this is kind of a Western adventure story. So it's going to be very different from Wonder. This is about Silas, who's 12, and he's awoken in the dead of the night by 3 horsemen who arrive unannounced to take his father away. It says Silas is left shaken, scared, and alone except for the presence of his companion Mittenwool, who happens to be a ghost. And in the interview, the author said that Mittenwool is her favorite character. So I'm excited to learn what Mittenwool does that makes him or her or them special to the author. Let's see. But when a pony shows up at his door, Silas knows what he has to do. He will set out on a perilous journey across a vast American landscape to find his father, a journey that will ultimately connect him with his past and future and the unfathomable mysteries of the world around him. From the event, I did learn that the pony has some kind of powers, like some sense of magic, so there's going to be magic woven into this Western story, which I think is really fun. We don't often see that with Western books, the presence of magic in there. And now onto the Fairyloot. I guess I better cut the tape so that I can get into the box. So this football game that I was at was a junior varsity game, and about halfway through the varsity boys finished their practice, so they came over, and I knew that that would happen, that they'd come over to watch the end of the JV game, and that they'd probably be hungry because, you know, teenage boys. So I brought a bag of high chews, like a big bag, brand new, unopened from the grocery store. Guess what happens when you let 17, 18-year-old boys near food? It's gone. Which is exactly what I expected, but you know, I did bring them to share with the hungry boys, but I thought maybe they'd leave a few left over, but apparently not. Now we have this Fairyloot box. The tape is now cut. We can open her on up and see what's inside. A lot of squigglies. It's usually what's inside. I see socks. You guys know that I do love some socks. Oh, these are kind of cute. Okay. So, is that like a... There's something flying there. A bird. A serpent. Clouds. Oh, this says 6 crimson cranes. That makes sense with the color scheme, because if you've seen the cover of that book, it's very pastel. In fact, I think I have that. Hang on. Alright, well, I have the original cover, which is not pastel, but there's a special edition of it that I also have that is very pastel, and I don't know where I put it. It has grown legs and walked away, apparently, so I can't show that one to you. Sorry. Alright, let's see what else is in the box. The Prison Healer card holder. I do have the Prison Healer, but I have not read it. Have not had time. September was a very slumpy month as well. Aha! Okay, that's a pretty design. And you wouldn't necessarily know that it was themed for a book. It's just a pretty flowery design. That reminds me, one of my 8th graders didn't know what the word floral meant today. We were doing a Mad Lib and I asked for an adjective and one of the girls raised her hand and said floral. And I said, oh, that's a great word. And one of the boys goes, what does that word mean? So we gotta have a discussion about the word floral. Floral. All right, we have our enamel pin in a very large envelope. It says An Ember in the Ashes enamel pin. I still have not read An Ember in the Ashes. I've tried listening to the audiobook twice and I just completely lost all sense of the story, so I need to actually read the physical book. What does this say? Here's the pin and it's got teeny tiny words on it. It says, Emifalferdant, may death claim me first. If I finally read the book someday, I'll understand what that means, probably. Ooh, we have 2 books. This is Beasts of Prey by Ayana Gray. Look at how pretty that is with the snake coming through and the plants and the foiling of the letters. That's really pretty. On the back it tells us, Lucosa was once a city of magic. Now magic is nothing more than myth. Kofi is a beastkeeper at Lucosa's infamous night zoo, caring for fearsome creatures to pay off her family's debts, until she mistakenly unleashes a wild and mysterious power that sends the night zoo up in flames. Ikon is destined to become an elite warrior like his father and brother before him, until the fire at the night zoo throws his destiny into disaster and he is cast out forever. Thrown together, Kofi and Ikon have only one choice. They must enter the terrifying greater jungle and capture the Shitani, the legendary monster that has plagued Lucosa for a century. Magic has returned to Lucosa and the hunt has begun. I probably mispronounced all of those names. That does sound quite interesting, though. Alright, this item I believe was supposed to be in last month's box. It is a tray, and it says it wasn't the end, it was a better beginning. The author from that quote is Aidan Thomas, so that's got to be Cemetery Boys, or what's the other one they wrote? That was like a Peter Pan, Tinkerbell situation. Neverwoods, something Neverwoods. Okay, we've got a fabric item here. What are you? Oh boy, we have a large tapestry. Is this supposed to be Akatar? We have a winged male and a girl with tattoos on her arm, which makes me think Akatar, but that might be wrong. That is pretty though. I like the stained glass window kind of style of the art. When we find the spoiler card, which they've taken to hiding at the bottom of the box, I will see if it's meant to be, I shouldn't say Akatar, because the scene wouldn't have happened in that book. Akameth, or Akawar, or Akafas. Let's see if I can find that card. Alright, so here's the spoiler card. The theme is Uprising, and tapestry inspired by Daughter of Smoke and Bone. Oh, so not any of the Sarah J. Maas books at all. I was very wrong. That's okay. I haven't read Daughter of Smoke and Bone. I keep meaning to, but you know what happens. The TBR gets longer and you hardly make a dent in it, and then you go buy some more books. Okay. Alright, we've got character cards. Oops, one of these upside down. And these are Caraval inspired. I did find that on the spoiler card because I never know who these are. So this is supposed to be Jax and the Fallen Star from the Caraval series. Alright, we have made it to the book pouch. So maybe we'll just kind of ease this open because sometimes Fairyloot, a lot of times they do sprayed edges. Ooh, I see purple. And I see a ribbon bookmark. Yay. Alright, I've got some other things here. Okay, Fairy Scoop, we'll look at that in a minute. We've got a Dear Reader letter with this art print. I still don't know what the book is going to be. Let's turn it over. Oh, Defy the Night by Bridget Kemmerer. I was actually just watching a review, still waiting for my Seder does spoiler-free reviews. You can look for that channel. And she was just doing a review for this one and had good things to say. So that's exciting. And we have purple sprayed edges, so that's very lovely. Oh, we also have a bookmark that matches the spoiler card, as they always do. Let's take a look at the inside of the book. We've got pretty end papers here. Foiling little fleur-de-lis on the cover. We have art inside. I'm guessing this is going to be our main character duo here. Here is the signature. And yes, we have a purple ribbon bookmark. That's a good sign. I love a good ribbon bookmark. Then you don't have to hunt down a bookmark to use. It's great. All right. So we're going to do this and then go over what the book is actually about. This says, "My dear Fairyloot readers, I'm so excited for you to be holding a copy of Defy the Night in your hands. I began writing this book in 2019, inspired by my love for heart of gold outlaws like Zorro and Robin Hood. Defy the Night is full of daring young women and dangerous young men, all of whom have different ideas about how the world should work and what they need to do to save it. You may be familiar with my Cursebreaker series, but Defy the Night begins a completely new fantasy series. Set in a kingdom named Kandala that is on the brink of disaster, the people are overwhelmed by an illness that can only be cured by drinking an elixir made from a rare flower." So this does deal with kind of a widespread illness. It is not meant to represent the COVID-19 pandemic. It's kind of a coincidence because, I mean, if she started writing this book in 2019, no way is it about COVID. So it's just a similar theme of our lives right now. Let's see. As you can imagine, thieves and smugglers do their best to take advantage of desperate people. The king can barely maintain the peace, relying on his brother, the dangerous and terrifying Prince Korik, to punish anyone caught stealing medicine. Our heroine, Tessa, is an apothecary apprentice by day and an outlaw by night. She steals moonflower petals from the rich and distributes the elixir among those who cannot afford it. There's our Robin Hood influence coming in right there. Getting help from her best friend, the roguish outlaw Weston Lark. So I'm guessing he's the guy that we saw in the art. When West doesn't return from a supply run one night, Tessa is desperate enough to try the impossible, sneaking into the palace. But what she discovers on the inside makes her wonder if it's even possible to fix Kandala without destroying it first. I truly love these characters so much and so excited for readers to meet the savvy and charming Weston Lark and the passionate and brilliant Tessa Cade, along with the cruel Prince Korik and his brother King Harriston. I fell in love with the world, the people, the palace intrigues, and the opportunities for sneaking romance anywhere I could. I hope you love Wes and Tessa and Korik as much as I do, and I hope your journey to Kandala is a thrilling one. Mind your mettle, Bridget Kemmerer." Alright, so I don't think we need to read the dust jacket because I think this is kind of similar to what we're going to see here because I've hauled this book in from a shopping trip before. But I will tell you, her last name is the same name of a town near me, about 45 minutes away. It is spelled Kemmerer, which is how I pronounce her name, but when we talk about that town, we always just say Kemmer. I don't know which is right, I don't know which is wrong, I don't know which she prefers to have her name pronounced as, but there you go. Random piece of knowledge. There's a town in Wyoming named Kemmer. Cool. What a nice box. Favorite things? Do I have a favorite thing? No. I will say that I really like that we got 2 books, and this one is gorgeous, so that's really nice, but I don't know that I have like a specific favorite thing in this one. What are your favorite things? You guys tell me. Yeah, I don't know why I'm like packing up this box while I'm wrapping up the video. That's weird, but there you go. I feel like I'm kind of out of practice of doing unboxings. It does feel like it's been a while since I've done one, although it probably was just a month ago. So I need to stop talking now because my throat hurts and I've been screaming at a football game much too loudly. There you go. So I hope you guys are having a great, fabulous, enjoyable October so far. I'm going to wish you a wonderful, magical, and bookish day. Happy reading. Adios.